Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for more Star Wars. Okay, so we're watching episode 7 today. All right. Oop, hit myself. Okay, so watching episode 7, The Force Awakens. J.J. Abrams doing what he does best, starting things. So, this is the start of the newest trilogy. We're almost at episode 9. I like Rey, I like Finn, I like Poe. They're all cool. The main three are cool. They did a good job there. So the budget was $300 million. Box office? $2 billion. They made $2 billion. Holy crap, I did not realize they made that much money with this movie. This was, of course, the return of Star Wars after so long, and it had plenty of haters. I don't get it at all. Like, people are like, it's just the first movie again. To an extent, yes. To an extent, no. It has a bunch of thematic beats. It's retelling kind of in some ways. But that is a thematic thing that does happen in writing, especially in fantasy. There is plenty of stories where another generation echoes the previous generation. This has happened many times. You can see this in games, you see this in movies, you see this in TV, you see this in plenty of stories, where just when they do a sequel, they do another generation. It's kind of the same thing, but a little different. That's what happens. So, people flipping the hell out make no sense to me. We're going to get this out of the way right now. Nobody knows what Mary Sue actually means, because Rey isn't no way a Mary Sue. If she's a Mary Sue, Luke's a Mary Sue. That's as simple as that. And that's going by broken definitions. Rey's pretty cool. I like her a lot. I like Poe. I like Finn. I already said that already. I like Traitor, whatever his name is. Because he's doing some work for a minute before he gets taken out. Like, that guy was kind of cool. And there's actually a backstory to him and everything. He's like, he actually means it when he yells traitor at Finn. They actually know each other. There are parts that I don't really... Honestly, the Harrison Ford stuff, some of that I don't really care for. Like the whole Conja Club stuff, don't care. Now, if you somehow have never seen this movie, I will stop talking about the movie and we'll talk about it after. I forget we don't talk about it before. At least not too much. There's plenty of stuff I really like. There's not much I don't like. This was a safe movie, as people put it. And in ways, yes. And it's just good. It's definitely good. One thing I'll criticize before we get into it, though, is... Yeah, the attempts at humor and marvelizing a little bit just feels a bit off. It definitely feels a little bit off in this movie. And... I think there can be humor. Then again, I can't think of anything I laughed at in Star Wars. Like, my favorite thing is the droids in the cartoon, and they only did a little bit in the movies. At no point have I ever found hapless C-3PO hilarious at any point. I don't think I've ever laughed at anything in the Star Wars movies. They've always been more serious fare, like light serious, not super serious, besides Luke losing his hand. But trying to marvelize it was a bit much, but they didn't try to do that in 8. Well, they didn't try to do a lot of things in 8 to that degree. They went back to more serious. Here's how 9's going to be because J.J. Abrams is back. But that's enough about that. Let's see the movie and then see what we think after the movie. I know I'm going to like it because I enjoyed it. But I wonder if I'm going to like it less or more. Since it's been 4 years since I saw it. I saw it 3 times in theaters. But it's been 4 years since I've seen it, so let's see. Alright, so movie. Oh, hold on. Button. Over! Alright, so... Last place. I'm out. Alright, so no, I really like 7. 7's really enjoyable, it's really fun. I made the complaint about the marvelizing the comedy. Honestly, it's just the first joke, like, it doesn't land, and then the rest of the jokes, I think, land pretty well. I think it's just like, do you talk, do I talk? Do I? Like, them, like, eh. But everything out there, like, okay, this is good. This is funny. This is good. Like, it's just that first one's like, But, like, it's just enjoyable. Like, there's a lot of enjoyable moments. I had a lot of laughs in this movie, which is, not a thing in Star Wars. Really, thinking back with Jinx is like, yeah, there's not a lot of humor in these movies. There's not a lot of humor in these movies at all. It's more like there's uplifting, but there's not humor. And then 7 whips out the humor. But it's, aside from the first jokes, it starts just being just like they're just more... Subtle's not the right word, but it's just done better. My favorite joke of all is when Kylo Ren's wrecking up the torture room, and the two guys like, let's go the other way. Like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite reaction. Like, that's my favorite funny point right there. There's a bunch of other little funny things, but that's number one. Suddenly I don't remember some of the other ones, so I can't think of any good examples. But that's my favorite one right there. And then BB-8's just a fun little droid. Favorite part, of course, is when they whip out the lighter for thumbs up. That's a nice little point there. And just little humor with BB-8, just falling around and things like that. Oh yeah, C-3PO cock-blocking Han Solo and Princess Leia. That's pretty good. It's like, oh hey, it's Han Solo! Hey, you might not recognize me because of the red arm. Oh, you two were having a moment. Oh. Oh, my bad. Like, that's not bad. That was pretty good stuff there. I think the movie's pretty tight. The only part I don't care for is the Kanji Club part. I really just don't care about that. It's like, oh hey, we're just dealing with Han. Like, there's like, just gotta explain that Han Solo's still up to his double talking ways and it's not going well, and move on from there. Oh right, it gets Chewie hurt so that Rey can co-pilot. Right, that's true. So that does add that. So it ticks a couple boxes for sure that it had to do. I don't know. I think that's the only scene that I can not be happy about. If I have to nitpick, that's the only one. Oh right, Jinx's nitpick is that Kylo Ren doesn't emote when he uses the Force. So when he's choking or holding things, it's just there. He didn't do, and he's still not doing the motion. Like when he holds the laser blast. Like if his hand was just out the whole time and then he puts his hand down and it goes off, like that would make more sense. Watching this movie for the fourth time, it's been a couple years since, like I watched it 3 times in 2015. Watching it again now, just remembering all the parts and everything, like, okay, this movie just makes sense. Like, from a directing standpoint, there's so many amazing shots and there's just so much really good characterization. And there's really good effort to set up who these characters are. Like Finn, especially Finn. They do a good, like, Finn gets knocked out and then he wakes up and he asks Rey if she's okay. She's like, oh, wasn't expecting such a reaction there from a guy who got knocked out. It's like, are you okay? He's like, oh, okay. Like, he cares. Like, there's a lot of characterization in films. Like, he's actually a caring person. But there's also a lot of fear in him. And John Boyega does a great job acting that out. He does a great job acting. Like, the main three do a great job acting their characters out pretty well. I think Poe's good for his little bits in this. And then he's better in 8. Finn's great in both movies. So is Rey. Like, they do good emotions and stuff like that. And you just get who they are. You really get who these characters are as the movie's going on. They just keep displaying little bits of who they are. And you just understand them better as it goes. And that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. I just think it's just done very well. Oh yeah, beat for beat for. Watching it again and knowing that, and then also knew those complaints when I watched it the second and third time. It doesn't matter. I said this at the start of this video, where thematically that's something that happens in storytelling. When you do another generation, that does happen. And it's doing it here, but it just does it so well anyway. It's just done pretty well. Like, you got these different beats that are the same thing, but they still have their own things that happen. And it's just done pretty well as a modern story. Especially, like, the humor's done way better after. Initially, it's not so great, and then it gets way better in this movie. And we're like, okay, this is pretty good. And then the action's really good. My favorite moment, action-wise, of course, is the freaking Millennium Falcon flip into the shot. That's really freaking cool. It's my favorite moment, for sure. The lightsaber battle is pretty good, and we get to see a non-Force user using a lightsaber, and he's doing alright, and it makes sense to me. He's a soldier, so he has some idea how to use a weapon. But even though he's using it, he does get beat the first time. I wouldn't count the guy he stabs, because that's just, just stabbing a guy. But when he gets into his first actual fight by Traitor, whose name I don't remember right now, that fight's cool, and then he gets beat. He's gonna lose that fight until Han saves his ass. And then he tries to win again, and then he loses again. He uses a lightsaber in another fight, and he loses again. But he gets in some damage. He does a little bit before losing, so that's good for him. So we get to see that you don't have to be a Jedi to use these things. It's just, it helps to be a Jedi. And then Rey winning her fight. That was going pretty well, and then you can give all the excuses you want for that. He took a bowcaster shot to the side. He got wounded fighting Finn. He's tired. He underestimated Rey. Rey surprised him. Rey gets a hit in. Rey's got the Force in her, going pretty hype, going overdrive in her right then and there. And he's like, I could teach you. Waiting for your answer. Waiting. Oh shit, she's attacking again. And then just takes him off balance. I'm just curious if she would have killed him if the planet didn't split apart on her. Or was she just like, okay, I won, I'm out of here. It's good, and like I appreciate that there's as much sexual tension between Finn and Rey as there is between Finn and Poe. There is a triangle there that none of them are aware of. And that's what I appreciate is they don't do a romance, they make them friends first, and maybe there'll be a romance later. Like, I like that instead of trying to pigeonhole romance into this thing. Of course, thinking about 8 when Rose goes for it. Oh my god. Another Death Star. Look, when they try to defend, it's not just another Death Star. It's not. So it's bigger. It's not just bigger, man. It's not. It's like I feel like there's just two writers arguing right there. He's like, oh, let's use that. Just a bigger Death Star. Well, it's more than that. No, it's not. And oh, here's a ding. Phasma. Phasma's a ding. We didn't need another Boba Fett. Come on. And then she does barely anything in 8 later on. And they said they're not going to use her in 9. And I really feel like they should have given her a win somewhere so she's at least better than Boba Fett. Because Boba Fett has no wins. Boba Fett smartly realized that Han's going to be hiding on the ship and then go. And then Boba Fett's points are pointing out where Han went. That's it. Boba doesn't beat anyone in a fight. Boba doesn't capture anyone. He just relayed information and hung out with the guy who did the capturing. That's all Boba does. Phasma leads a unit, but Kylo's there, so it's more him leading the unit. They kill everybody, and then she just gets her butt beat. Well, in this one, she just gets captured. But the case versus a Wookiee ain't gonna go well anyway. But then just dies. Spoiler alert: just dies. She just Boba Fett's it. At least she gets beat better than he did, though. Just accidental bunk. Oh no! Oh god, the perfect time for the Wilhelm scream was when Boba got hit with got his jetpack broken. That was the perfect time for the Wilhelm scream. I think Hux is fine here. He's trying to be Moff, although Jinx thinks he's more of a Krennic. And yeah, he's more Grand Moff Tarkin. And he's trying to be, and then he just becomes a joke in 8. It's unfortunate. 8 just kind of steps all over 7, doesn't it? I'm thinking about it. But does it enhance it? I don't know. I think it does in some ways, and it steps on it in others. And we'll see 8 soon enough. But 7's really good. 7's really, 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 really good. And that makes me think about the ranking right now. Last place is the prequels, because I don't ever want to watch them again. Then it's Solo, which Solo's fine, so it's not really saying much. That Solo's ranked Solo. Then it's Rogue One. Then since Return of the Jedi, then it's 4, then it's 5. And thinking about it, there's a lot of excuses you can give for this and that. I've given plenty of excuses for my list so far. Like, I keep putting 4 highish because it's the first one, and it's set up so much and everything like that, and people are like, 5's the greatest one ever. But there's also rewatchability. And I could watch 7 again right now. So 7's number 1. Making that stamp. Whoa, that was cool. Do that again. Woo! I didn't know I could do that. Oh, you'll see when you edit this, Jinx. Oh my god, does this show? Oh, it does show! Oh, wow! You can deflect lasers with this thing. Don't try to deflect lasers. totally deflect lasers. So, oh god, does Rey ever do that? I don't think she does in 8, no. So next time we'll be watching episode 8. And we'll go over that and everything. And I'm curious where I'm going to fall on that. It's been like 2 years. It's been almost 2 years since episode 8. We've now watched all the movies beforehand. So we have all the context. We have everything prepared for 8. So where will it land for me this time? That's what I wonder. Because I really liked 8. And we'll see what I think this time. And where does Jinx rank the movies? They're nebulous right now where they're on the list. Consult and prequels. Okay, prequels last. I know people like the prequels. I'm sorry. I really am. But I'm not. They're not great. They're not great. I wish I liked them, but they're not. They're not great. It's really Anakin ruins all 3 movies. He really does. He really ruins all 3 movies. Are you an angel? He's such a for Kylo Ren. He softens the blow that is Kylo Ren. Because Kylo's not that great either. Are you an angel? That's the first movie. I wish I could wish away my feelings. That's the second movie. And then every line of the third movie. I hate you! Was it from my perspective, it is the Jedi that are evil? What? What, Anakin? I'm not the one who just killed younglings. Anakin, I have the moral high ground and the literal high ground. I win. You can't beat my power. What was the power? You just jumped over and got caught. Like, it would have been really cool if he just jumped and force pulled Obi-Wan to pull his balance or something. It's like, oh shit. Like, I don't know. That might have done something. But it's really, going back to 3, it's really weird. Obi-Wan go like, I have the high ground. That didn't stop him from beating freaking, Darth Maul now, did it? Hey, and also, Han Solo might not be dead. He might come back with spider legs. You never know. That's a reference to Clone Wars. Okay, we'll wrap it up. But I just want the conversation to be just Darth Maul and Vader meet. He's like, really? Cut you in half? Yeah, he had the high ground. You just can't beat... I had the high ground. Guess the high ground just doesn't mean anything. It's like, Okay, so that's it. This was fun. Yeah, 7's number 1. I think it's probably blasphemy for some people, but I just really enjoyed 7. Maybe it's because of modern sensibilities. I don't know. It's very enjoyable. I could watch it again. 5 is good too. I could watch 7 again right now. And that's how I felt when I first watched it too. It's just a really entertaining movie. So there you go. That right there is us watching Star Wars Episode 7. Next time will be The Last Jedi, number 8. So what did you think of 7? Do you disagree? You probably do on some things. And what do you agree on and things like that. It'd just be fun to know what people think because Star Wars is great. And discourse is great. We don't have to be nerds about this. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So there you go. I had fun of it from watching and talking, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you next time. So we can get another shot. Laser blast here. Nope. 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 I can't. There we go. Ah! Oh my god, I didn't know you could do that. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so cool. So cool.